All rise. Judge Vanderby Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1020, Jenkins case. Judge, both parties have been sworn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. Harrison,
Yes,
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I am here today to request child support and back pay for my 2-year-old daughter.
Okay. And where is Dad?
That's a really good question. I'm wondering the same myself.
I mean, me too. It looks like he was served to be here today.
Yep.
So we can just continue without him.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know how much Dad makes? Do you have any financial information on him whatsoever?
I know he definitely makes over $100K a year.
Okay. And what does he do for a living?
He's a neurosurgeon.
Neurosurgeon. All right. Do you have an exact?
Okay, everyone, buckle in. Today, we're going to delve deeply into the Harrison case, in which Miss Harrison is pursuing legal action to obtain back pay and child support for her daughter, who is 2 years old. However, there's a twist. Despite being properly served, the child's father, a highly compensated neurosurgeon, chose not to appear in court. This is a brave but not necessarily wise move, as the judge isn't going to allow his absence to delay the proceedings and proceeds without hesitation. According to Miss Harrison, the father makes well over $130,000 a year, but he hasn't made any contributions to their child's development. As the judge gets ready to determine his financial responsibilities, this case is expected to be a dramatic, legal battle. Let's see how this all turns out in the showdown.
Do you know how long he's been a neurosurgeon?
About at least 7 years.
7 years, okay. And you said he makes over 100. Do you have an exact number that he makes?
If I had to guesstimate, I would say about 130.
130. That's about average?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And did you do any research to see if that was like customary for somebody who's been a neurosurgeon for all that time? Or is that like entry?
I think that's about average, so it definitely could be higher.
Okay. So we'll just base it at that then.
Okay.
Okay. And then you say you're requesting back pay.
Yes.
For the past 2 years, he hasn't provided anything?
That's correct.
Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. My name is Vonda Bailey and I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Texas, and I handle matters that are related to child support, child custody, divorce, and adoption. So if you need help in any one of those areas, please feel free to give me a call. Anything?
That's correct.
Okay. Did your daughter go to daycare or anything like that?
Yes, but I provide health care and daycare for my daughter.
Thank you for saying that. How much is health care?
That is about $125.
$125?
Monthly, yes.
Okay. And the $125, is that for your daughter only? Or?
Miss Harrison confidently takes the stand and presents her case in great detail, restating that the father is a practicing neurosurgeon who earns an estimated $130,000 annually, more than enough to support their daughter financially. However, in spite of his impressive income, he has totally neglected his financial obligations as a parent. Miss Harrison explains that she has been paying for everything on her own, including essential expenses like daycare and healthcare, without his help. The judge carefully considers the obvious financial disparity between the two, and the weight of her testimony is indisputable because it depicts a mother fighting to get what is due to her child. With each word, the case moves closer to an inevitable decision.
Let's see. So we're going to do some calculations here. Does he have any other children?
Yes, he has 2 other children.
2 other children. Okay. So based on 16%. And he will have to reimburse you the $125 back per month for the child. He's not here to dispute or say anything different. So it'll be based on the testimony that you provide, assuming, of course, that you're being honest about what the numbers are. Based on 130, roughly about 130, I have his gross at $11,333 a month, which brings his net to $8,550. Reimbursement for the $125 health insurance child support amount comes out to $1,485. Now, you said you want back child support. Are you asking for that for the past 24 months since your daughter has been born, or?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been in and out of the picture, but not financially, and I truly believe parenting it takes both sides to be there, so.
I mean, correct. I just wasn't sure if you were asking from the date of birth or it was a certain number of months that you were looking for.
Yeah, 24 months.
24 months, okay. So, 1,485 at the past 24 months is $35,640 a month. So, what we'll do, because that number is so high, is add $500 for the back pay.
My name's Naru Witherspoon. I'm an attorney, and I'm licensed in Illinois, Texas, and Missouri. I handle cases for families all over the nation. And I want to talk to you about Vonda Bailey. Vonda Bailey is a family law attorney, and she handles high-profile, high-net-worth cases. If you're listening to this message, and you're a high-value individual, a high-profile individual, you must give Vonda Bailey a call. What does that mean? If you have properties, if you have assets, you have a 401k plan, compensation packages that are complex, I want you to give Vonda Bailey a call. Vonda Bailey, she's an amazing attorney. She might be expensive, but it's worth it. Give Vonda Bailey a call.
The judge. The judge makes a determination that the father must pay music, after carefully assessing the child's support obligation based on his expected yearly income, taking into account the essential expenses, such as medical bills, and the fact that he has 2 other children. Miss Harrison is not content with $1,280 per month in child support. She also wants back pay for the previous 24 months, which the judge readily grants in order to settle the $35,640 in AAR. An additional $500 per month is added to the regular payments because the father chose not to appear in court, forfeiting his right to contest these calculations, and the judge enters a default order. This is a classic example of how missing court can have serious financial consequences. The decision is final, and there will inevitably be repercussions.
$1,640 is paid off. The $500 that you will be receiving additionally will go back down to the $1,485. So $1,485 plus $500, that brings your monthly obligation, well, his monthly obligation that you will receive for the child to $1,985. Okay? And that obligation will start on the 1st of next month, and once the withholding order and everything goes to his employer, you'll receive that amount every month. Okay? Now, he has the right to come back and dispute that if he believes the amount is incorrect. But today, because he didn't show up, I'm going to go ahead and enter a default.
Okay.
Okay? Do you have any other questions?
Just one quick question. If my number is lower and it turns out that he does with me more, is that number going to change?
That's a great question. And yes, it will change.
Okay.
Unless he can, like I said, if he can bring in something that shows differently, and if he brings in any financial documents that shows that it's higher, his child support will be raised.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing further, you are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The judge pauses to clarify one important point before concluding the proceedings. The father may contest the decision in the future, but only if he can show that his income differs from the estimated amount. Until then, the ruling stands firm, and Miss Harrison will receive $1,285 per month, which includes the repayment plan for the heir. The judge sends a clear message about the value of showing up for court and warns that failing to comply with legal requirements can have serious financial and legal repercussions. It serves as a warning to anyone who believes they can avoid their obligations, since courts don't wait for absentees, and neither does fairness. As the case comes to a close, Judge, this decision serves as a reminder that avoiding the courthouse isn't a successful approach when it comes to child support. Werby summarizes the main point, which is that the father's absence did not shield him from a court order. Rather, it made matters worse. The court nonetheless decided in Miss Harrison's favor, demonstrating that merely ignoring legal procedures won't make them go away. This case isn't just about one parent evading responsibility. It's a larger example of how the legal system makes sure that children receive the financial support they deserve. Whether it's personal drama or legal principles at play, the judge makes it clear that attendance is mandatory once you've been served, and that the court has complete authority to proceed in your absence. Although you can avoid the court, you cannot avoid the repercussions.